Welcome to today's Inspired to Greatness Live, and I am going to just take a couple of minutes to get going. I'm going to get myself wired for sound and also leave you a couple of minutes just to get settled, let everyone get onto the live stream. So here we are. I shall get myself plugged in and then we will get going. So we've got some exciting content for you today. Having my mic plugged in, ready to go. So, how you all doing? I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. I hope you got up to some exciting stuff. I spent the weekend planning my travels around Italy. Well, I say around Italy, I mean the southern part of Italy. I'm going to be flying into an airport in the foot of Italy and traveling up and down the Amalfi Coast. So I've been doing my research, looking at different apartments to work from and how to get from A to B and things like that. So it's been exciting, adventurous stuff for me this weekend. So if you haven't already done so, grab a notebook and pen, because one thing you'll get to know about me is that I certainly deliver on the content. However, this is called Inspired to Greatness Live, and it's not going to inspire you to greatness at all if you do not implement it. So if you see me looking over here, by the way, it's because I'm looking at my laptop. So let me just get myself tuned into the Inspired to Greatness group so that I can see your comments, because often they don't show very well on the phone. Hi, Suzette, how you doing? What's been happening with you? Hope you're well. Nice to see you. If you haven't got it already, Suzette, grab a notebook, because I'm going to be sharing quite a lot of content today. And the key with this is for you to implement. That's where you're going to start seeing results. So here we are. I can see some of you are just joining now. And we're 3 minutes in. So I guess now would be a good time to get started. So welcome along to Inspired to Greatness episode number 2. Those of you who have been following me for years will know that the Inspired to Greatness brand, shall we say, has been going for a long time. I have been hosting the Inspired to Greatness show for a long time, but now we have these live streams. I think this is definitely my medium. So we are going to be going live every Monday. So it's a nice way for you to start the week afresh and really get fired up and going in the right direction. It doesn't matter what happened last week, no matter how crappy it may have been, or perhaps you didn't do half the things you wanted to do, just wipe the slate clean. This is an opportunity for you to begin again. And I'm going to be here in this group every Monday to lead you along. And also, the big piece about this community is I want you to be cheerleaders for each other. So, hi, Suzette, she says, can't miss you though, indeed, with the coloured hair and so on. Sophia, hello. And I think I saw Catherine as well joining. So hi to you. What I'm going to do is just really bash out the content for today, because we've got a lot to go through. And then I'm going to open up for questions a bit later on. And of course, those of you who were not able to listen to this live can also listen to the replay, and please do ask your questions in the comments below as we go, because even if you're not here live, I do want to be available to do some on-the-spot coaching as well. So if you see me looking this way, it's because I'm looking at my laptop. I've got my notes there. I'm not ignoring you. We're covering a lot of ground today, so I want to stay on track. So, as I said, note down your questions. Take a notepad and pen out. Grab yourself a coffee if you haven't already. I do not want you to be on this live stream if you are going to listen to this stuff and not do anything with it. This is not going to be fluff. So get your notepad out and take down my teaching points, because I want you to implement them this week. What I'm going to share with you has the ability to transform parts of your business and really elevate your income and just generally the whole way you're working in your business. Don't underestimate what I'm going to share with you. However, this is about you implementing. The other thing I'd like to share with you, if you've got any girlfriends or colleagues who are also entrepreneurial women, perhaps they're coaches, consultants, or they run another type of service-based business, then please do feel free to invite them into the Inspired to Greatness group. However, what I would say on that, there is one caveat. Please don't just automatically add them in, because I just think that's rude. If you like being part of this group and you love these trainings, then, just reach out to people, send them a link in a DM or something like that, rather than just automatically adding them, because I think that really pisses people off and I don't want to do that. And also the other bit of housekeeping is that we will be meeting live and in person a couple of days from now on Wednesday for the Inspired to Greatness meetup here in Brighton. We are meeting from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and I will post a link somewhere underneath here or in a separate post for those of you who would love to join. Leonie, hi, lovely to see you. Thanks for joining us. Also, the other thing is, as I said, I'm going to be hosting these live trainings every week. And I've chosen this topic today because I'm going to be going quite deep into different topics over the coming weeks and doing a lot of free trainings. And so I've chosen this topic to sort of clear the ground and get some structures in place that will support you in the other trainings I'm going to deliver to you. However, I want to be of service to you. I don't want to just come out with any old thing. I want to know what you want to hear about. What do you want to learn? What are you struggling with in your business? And then I can create trainings that meet you where you're at. Otherwise, I'm just stabbing in the dark and relying upon wish and hope and guessing what it is you may want to know about. So you can either share that, what you need to learn about, what you'd like to learn about in the comments below, or there is a post that's pinned to the top of this wall here, just above you, that says what you need help with. So you can share your thoughts in there as well. And that will help me to tailor my trainings to your specific needs. And what else do I need to tell you? So that's it on the housekeeping. Please do feel free to comment as you go and post any questions that you have as you think about them. And I will answer them at the end. So today we're talking about how to create powerful structures that cut your busy work in half and still boost your business, which sounds counterintuitive. You think if you're cutting things back, you're not going to be able to boost your business. However, and this is just what I thought many years ago, when you really do take some time to put the underlying structures in place in your business, the structures will actually work to support you. I know a lot of women, they really resist this idea. Hi, Maxine, how you doing? Not seen you for a long time. Welcome to this live stream, and Sharon as well. It keeps freezing. Oh, sorry about that, Sharon. Hopefully you should be able to watch it more smoothly on the replay. Maybe you've not got a very strong internet connection at your end. Linda, hello, nice to see you as well. All the good old faithfuls are here and present and correct. So yes, one of the reasons I chose this topic is, yes, I am going to be coming out with a lot of free trainings coming up. And one thing I know about women is they don't need more to do. However, you do need to put certain business structures in place within your business for it to be successful. Now, one of the first structures is the way you're managing your time, how you're structuring your day, all these different pieces, how you're going to overcome this busy work, as we call it, and really get focused on the things that are truly going to elevate our business faster. And this is what many of you have asked for in the last couple of days. You said you need help with this, that you're busy, busy, busy all of the time, but not really seeing the results you're looking for. So we're going to break some of that down and look at why that may be. And this is why I want you to take notes so that you can look back and see where these points apply to you in your business. Now, as I said, systems and structures support you. And I get it. If you're a creative person, there's often a bit of resistance. You know, as women, we work in a very intuitive way. We're very guided by our gut feeling and what feels right. We have to feel good about what we're doing. However, this is business. You know, the nature of business is that it is a rather masculine process. And the very nature of business means that we do need the structures in place, which are the masculine parts of what we do. And there's no escaping the fact that when, you know, we have to sort of knuckle down and get those structures in place, because actually, if you do take the time to do that, those structures will then support the feminine in you, the more creative process, the more intuitive way of working, so that you can be more naturally in the flow and that creative the process of being creative, whether that's creating new programs or creating new content and things like that. So that is one of the reasons why this is such an important topic, and one that must not be pushed to one side. However, I find a lot of women really resist it because they think it's going to sort of interfere with their creative process and their sort of that intuitive guidance. Tracy, hi, how you doing? Long time no see, hope you're well. And Ava Bay, hi, nice to see you as well. All right, so one of the things you will find when you start to put powerful structures in place in your business is that, yes, you can begin to work in a more structured way. You will know, one of the biggest questions or complaints I get from women is that they spend so much time thinking, what is it I'm supposed to be doing next? Or so much time planning. And so when you take these structures and put them into place in your business, it enables to help you know where you're at any given time without the additional brain ache. Because listen, just because we're good at multitasking doesn't mean we should. Hell, we've got kids to deal with, washing to put on, school runs to do, food to cook, recipes to pick out, the whole piece, exercise, or, listen, I get this. I mean, just this morning, as a way to get some exercise in, I ran to school with my son whilst he went along on his bike, because it's just about the only time I can fit any exercise in. So, these are the types of structures we're talking about. Women have so much to do. It's a way of supporting ourselves through the busyness of our day-to-day activities. It will help you be more streamlined. It will help you be a lot more organized in your business, as well as giving you this, more space to think. Or less time to think. So a lot of people are often thinking, what do I need to do next? But when your structures are set up correctly, when they are working for you, you can then sit back and spend time journaling or creating something new, or, planning the launch of a new program. And most of all, it's about staying out of overwhelm. Now, this is so important. The amount of women who give up on the idea of running a successful business because they are so up to here with all the different moving parts of what it takes to run a business, they just fall out of love with the whole idea. And of course, as women, we often go into business because we're great at the thing we do. We have a certain gifts and talents, and that's why we're putting what we do out there in the world. It's our passion. But then the fact that it is a business means that we do have to become good at other pieces like marketing and like time management and like implementing visibility strategies. So use these strategies to stay out of overwhelm, because I'm telling you, you don't want to be someone who's put all this effort in and then realized, you know what, this is more work than it was when I had a job. I just can't take it. I'm going to give it up. And I'm not seeing any results as well. The other benefit to adding really powerful boundaries into your business is that it creates, not boundaries, structures, should I say, is that it creates powerful boundaries for your family, for your friends, and for your clients. Now, what do I mean by this? Have you ever had a client that runs you ragged, that phones you at any old time, or expects, cancels appointments at the last minute, or shifts them round? Or, have you ever been in that position where you actually feel like you're slave to your clients because they mess you about so much? And again, this is one of the reasons why women feel so overwhelmed, because they've become a slave to their business rather than creating your business in a way that supports your lifestyle choices and your energy flows. Because come on, when you're PMSing or whatever, like, you don't want to work much because you feel ratty or whatever. I know for me, when I know it's that time of the month, I'm just, I work with my ebbs and flows, and I don't do certain things at certain times because I know I'm not in the right headspace for it. But the structures can even support that as women. And so we were talking about the boundaries. Yes. When you have these certain structures in place, you lay down very clear guidelines about what is and isn't acceptable in terms of the way you work, in terms of the way you work with your clients, in terms of your relationship with family and friends and kids as well. So just as an example, when I first started my business, because I was at home all day, my mother thought I was just, I don't know what she thought. I guess she thought I was sitting at home watching daytime TV all day. However, she'd be ringing me up and wanting an hour-long chat at all times of the day. And so I had to be clear on the boundaries with that. And it's the same with friends and our children. We need to put an energetic do not disturb sign up. I am working now. This is mummy's time to work. And you need to go and find yourself something to do and play with just for, half an hour or whatever. So when you've got these structures in place, this is going to help you get more done. It's going to keep you out of overwhelm, and it's going to help you start seeing an increase in your income. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, just to give you an example, when I work with my clients, this is exactly what I do with them. I share with them exactly what structures they need in place, both in times of what they should be doing and when, how often they should be doing it, how to structure it on a regular basis to make sure that things don't fall through the gaps, and so that they know what to focus on to see the outcomes that they're looking for. And so, there's clients that I've worked with for 30 days who have gone from almost zero revenue and zero clients to making really great money, up to 4 figures and things in 30 days, simply by following some very simple structures. Another client, she was very keen to get out and develop her speaking presence. And so we put together structures that not only taught her how to host a speaking gig, but how to make sure she had systems and structures in place to ensure that she always had speaking gigs lined up and always had a constant flow of clients coming into her world. And that meant that just by spending about 2 hours twice a month, she could guarantee that she had clients coming in to her business because we put the structures in place. So this is how it actually impacts your bottom line and doubles and increases your business. So let me get into the actual tips on how to do this. First of all, I want to say to you that please understand that you will never get everything done. The nature of the entrepreneurial journey is such that you will never get rid of that never-ending to-do list, because that is the process that this journey is. Even when we begin to delegate stuff to people and take on more support, you will find that you will never have it done. Because the nature of us being human is that we are always expanding, we are always growing, we are always evolving. And so the minute you think you've achieved something, you will be wanting the next thing. You'll be wanting to go to the next level and expand into the bigger vision. And so just get used to this being the journey. You know, if it doesn't feel good to you, then perhaps the entrepreneurial journey isn't really one that's a good fit for you. But that's your call. So the first step then, in terms of creating really powerful structures in your business that cut out the busy work, is to eradicate time sucks from your day. And if you can see me looking down this way, it's because I've written down some notes to keep me on track. So yes, the first step, eradicate time sucks from your day. So the first step with this is to get clear on what your ultimate outcome is. Because what I see for women is they're doing. There's a lot of busy work and they do this and they do this and they do this and they go here and they write a blog post and they, post something on social and they go to a networking event. But it's all very random. They don't really know why they're doing it and to what end. They're sort of going to these things and doing these things in the hope that it picks up some business without really knowing the specifics of how it's going to happen. So it's all of that way of doing things is very higgledy-piggledy. It's relying upon wish and hope. But what I invite you to do, because really, for anyone in business, the end goal is to, if you're in business, the very nature of being in business is that you sell more, you enroll more people, and you make money. That's what business is. And yes, it's about us getting our gifts out. And yes, it's about being of phenomenal service in the world and making a difference to people's lives. But the making the money is just it's like, what's the word for it? I can't think of the word. It's gone out of my head. It's just an indication of how much you're serving. So if you're not making money, that says to me that you're not serving at the level you should be. Because all the money is an indication of how many people you have helped. Okay, so what is your ultimate outcome? You need to know what that is, because when you're clear on what your ultimate outcome is, you can then create the structures that will move you towards that ultimate outcome. So you only want to be focusing on the things that are going to get you another step forward each day towards the outcome that you desire. And I would say focus on one outcome at a time. And that's the thing. A lot of people are doing just too many things. I want to get, develop a social media presence, and I want to get my website up, and I want to do blogging, and I want to do vlogging, and I want to get out speaking. Focus on one thing at a time. So what is that outcome? What's that one thing? What's that desired end results? Let me just see here. In fact, I'll look on here, otherwise it makes it look as though I'm looking at your boobs if I look down at the comments. Let's have a quickie look here. How do you know the steps? Have to go, we'll watch it. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I said I'd look at these at the end, and I will do. So otherwise, I'm just not going to get through this in time. All right. So, so focus on the outcome, one outcome at a time, and just take the steps towards that and focus only on that for the next 30 days or the next week or 90 days or 6 months, however long you think it's going to take to get that done. Because the more you focus, the faster you will move through it. The fact that we're changing gears all the time from this task here to that task there to that task means that, we're using different parts of our brain to get different tasks done. And so this changing of the gears thing is what brings this overwhelm. Whereas if you think, this is my ultimate goal, I'm going to do it, and this is what needs to be done, and just go at it, you will move through it way faster than you would otherwise. The other thing is spend, a lot time each day to working on that desired outcome. So if you want new clients, for example, carve out some time each day and think, during this time, I am only going to work on client attraction. This is what I teach in my Get Clients in 30 Days program. It is solely focused on getting clients. So, in an hour a day, what do you need to do to bring those clients into your world? And once you've done those tasks in that hour, you can think, you know what, I've done all that I need to do today to make sure my business is moving forward. Job done. And the other thing I want you to think about is, what are you going to put aside for the time being? In fact, hold on, have I missed something here? Yes, think about, in fact, let me look at my notes here. Yeah, so what I would recommend is when you are clear on what your desired outcome is, begin to eliminate all the things that aren't supporting that desired outcome. Doesn't have to be forever. It's just for the time being, so that you can streamline things down and get focused on one task. And then anything that doesn't move you towards that task, just shelve it for the moment. Okay. The other thing is how are you spending your time each day? Often when I begin working with women, the biggest complaint is I just don't seem to have enough time to get everything done. And yes, I do get it, being a woman myself and a lone parent, and, I have a small child myself, so juggling 1,000,001 things. But what I find is that when, upon closer inspection, if you really look at what women are doing with their time, it's very enlightening. So in terms of looking at how you're spending your time, what I would recommend is start to track it. So here's a task for you. Over the next 3 days, make the decision to track your time. From the minute you wake up in the morning to the time you go to bed, look at what you're doing. So use the timer on your phone and use the notes section in your phone and start to see how long you're spending on different tasks. Or perhaps you do it whilst you're just in your work time. How long are you surfing on social media? How long are you checking email? For me, I spend 15 minutes a day, once a day, checking email. That's it. I check my Facebook updates once or twice a day for 15 minutes. No more than that. I know exactly what I'm doing in different time slots throughout the day. So I invite you to track your time. Use a timer for each of your tasks and then start noting them down. Either you put it into the notes on your phone, or you can take a little notebook around you, and you will be surprised at just how much more time that you can find to be moving you towards your desired outcome, increasing your business. The other thing is to prioritize your daily tasks. So, many of you know I'm a great fan of journaling. This isn't about doing Dear Diary kind of journaling. This is about journaling for clarity. Whether it is first thing in the morning when your mind is fresh before your busy day begins, or last thing at night, so that you can almost do a brain dump. But I would recommend just taking time to uncover, where are you at now? What is it you want? So again, tuning into your desired outcome. And then when you're clear on those two things, you will immediately know the next steps you need to take in order to make the following day successful. And then, be clear on what that is. What is it you need to do tomorrow, for example? Get clear on that today, but do it at bedtime, so that first thing tomorrow morning you can be all guns blazing and ready to go and moving swiftly through the activities that are actually going to bring you closer to your outcome. yeah, so get clear on what you desire, what needs to happen today to make that happen, and then also prioritize those tasks. So when you've got a little list of all the different things you need to do, start checking off, like this needs to be first, this is second, do them in the order of importance. And I know this may seem like teaching grandmother to suck eggs, but it is amazing how women focus their busy time on tasks that are really not moving them towards the things and the outcomes that they desire. The other thing is to chunk your tasks. So this is chunking in terms of chunking down your time within your calendar. So as I said earlier, when you're doing different types of tasks, you're using different parts of your brain. And so if you're doing a whole different range of tasks during your working day, you're switching gears up and down and over here. And this is what creates this feeling of overwhelm. So what I would recommend is, take out your calendar, whether you've got a Google calendar or, a diary or whatever it is. Take out a calendar and start to block out time for different tasks. So for example, I do all of my coaching on a Monday and a Tuesday. So this is one of the reasons why I chose to host this on a Monday. Not only am I wanting to give you some pearls of inspiration and motivation every Monday, but, Monday is my coaching day. Monday is when I do all the coaching with my clients, Mondays and Tuesdays. And my clients know that. They are the days I do coaching. And that is it. The other reason why I choose those days is because if I want to travel, or if I'm off speaking somewhere around the UK, my coaching calls aren't going to interfere with my travel arrangements. So, if I want to book flights, I know to book them on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or at the weekend. So I'm not juggling. Sorry about that. Someone was just ringing me. This also helps with setting clear boundaries for your clients. So, if you are someone who isn't really, is having clients messing you about, cancelling sessions and appointments and, not really very committed, one of the ways to get over that is to say to clients, you know what, I'm available to coach or consult with you on this day. When you pick a time slot, it continues to be that time and day for the remainder of the time we work together. And that way, people just get into this habit of knowing exactly, I've got notifications coming up everywhere. That way, people know exactly, they get into a routine. They're more committed. They show up for calls when they're supposed to, and they show up on time. And it just helps with their scheduling too. What else? The other thing is, if you are, say Wednesdays for me is the day I have blocked out on my calendar for when I want to do VIP intensives with people. So I know not to book other things in there because I need time available to be able to spend a whole day with a client. I have specific days for marketing. Or, if it's not a full day, it may just be a couple of hours every Friday morning. Or perhaps there's days when you feel more creative than others. I find that I am often more creative towards the end of the week. So I have the latter part of my week blocked out in my calendar for content creation. So, doing things like this, deciding on what I'm going to deliver in live streams or what I'm going to write in my email newsletter, or perhaps I schedule all of my social media posts on a Friday. That's all blocked out in one chunk of time because I'm using the same sort of headspace for all of those tasks. It's all about creating and writing. So this you'll find is really beneficial for you and helps you just manage your time and people's expectations a lot better. What else have I got to tell you? The other thing is to automate as much of your business as you can. So this comes down to things like having automated scheduling for your clients. One of the services I love and use is vcita.com. That means that you just, can send a link to a client. They can choose what day and date they want to book, or, if it's an automated scheduling, you can just, if you've got a client that works with you on a Monday every week, then it's all scheduled in automatically at that time and day. Again, automation with the delivery of coaching programs. So one of the things I teach to all of my clients is that you should always have something tangible to give to your clients in the form of checklists or done for you forms or, you know, accountability stuff. So to make things easier for you to manage more time and half the administration time that it takes, if you've not got an assistant doing things for you, then, you know, perhaps post it all to a specific web page where people can just go and get it easily. That way you're not having to fuss with sending different documents to clients. Also, you know, I would recommend leveraging the way you're working so that your high-end clients get to work with you one-on-one and you give them more of that personal touch. But the lower-end clients, you create packages and programs and offers that are a lot more automated. That way you are available to really be present for your clients without having to worry about the back end part of the delivery of your programs. The other part of automation is creating marketing funnels, you know, putting your marketing on autopilot so that you can really focus on personal outreach and really making strong connections with people in a real and genuine way. When you've got certain structures in place to make sure that your marketing is running without you, you can really focus on, you know, fine-tuning those connections with people who are interested in working with you. The other thing is to focus on what you're going, I can't read my own notes. Focus on what you're good at and delegate the rest. Now, this is the curse of the entrepreneur. When we first set up our businesses, we feel we have to do everything, or we're missing out important things that are going to grow our business because we're not sure how to do it. I've got another notification coming up. So, you know, if there's something you're not good at, just don't sweat it. Don't spend hours and hours poring over the creation of your website or learning how to do social media. If someone else can do it better, if you don't love it, if you're not good at it, don't let that be an energy drain for you. Stay in your zone of genius. Focus on, you know, direct outreach and making personal connections with people and get those clients and cash flow coming in quickly so that you can delegate these tasks to someone who can do it in half the time and do it better than you for just a small amount of money. Because I can guarantee that, you know, you can make more by working for an hour with your clients than it's going to cost you to get the help to do these jobs that you hate. And finally, know what you need to focus upon. If your business is not profitable, don't let that become the story that keeps you stuck. You know, this isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. And you don't need to have all the whistles and bells. You don't need to be doing everything to get amazing results. In fact, you will get better results when you absolutely pare down and get focused on the core activities that will transform your business. You don't have to be doing everything. Perhaps when further along, when you're really a lot more successful, yes, you can do more stuff because you can take on the support to make that happen. But in the first instance, get focused. You know, find out what works for your type of business and only do that. You know, women suffer with entrepreneurial ADHD. They're like magpies. They're like, oh my God, I should do this here and I should do that there and I should do that. And then they wonder why they're overwhelmed, why they're busy, why they're falling out of love with their business and why they're not making the money because they're not actually like a heat-seeking missile for the thing that's going to bring them to their ultimate outcome. And believe me, it doesn't mean working harder. It really doesn't. It's about focus and knowing what your gifts and talents are and then honing in on the things that you're good at and using those core things that are your natural gifts to build your business. So if you need help with that, of course, you can hit me up in just direct message me and we can have a chat about it. But other than that, what I really want, I said to you, please take notes here, because this is none of this is going to help you unless you put it into action. So what I challenge you to do is post in the comments below and share with me which of these points resonated with you, for one. Number two, which are you going to commit to taking action on? Okay, because this is where it really makes the difference. And just because this is free doesn't mean you shouldn't actually implement, because this is what I do with my clients. This is the very beginning part of what I do with my clients. This is what's in many of my programs. So don't underestimate this just because I have given it you for free. Okay, so put that in the comments below. I am going to be chasing you all up to find out, have you done it? Have you done it? Have you done it? I'm going to be paying attention. Don't think you can hide from me. And then also, I'd like you to share with me what else you need help with. Put it in the comments below, because I can then do a live training on this next Monday at the same time. So that is our learning piece out of the way. So I'm going to quickly look at your comments. Oh goodness, I think I can only see the bits that are most recent. So I'm going to have to see if I can scroll down here. Sorry if it looks as though I'm looking at your cleavage, but when I'm looking on the phone, it's making me look down here like. All right, so Suzette says she's in the car and on the way to Center Parcs. Oh yeah, of course. You said you were going there. I hope you have a fun time there. Thank you for listening in. I love that, how you're being mobile and learning. Catherine Dodd joined us. Suzette says, can't miss you though. Yes, we said that earlier, didn't we? Sophie was on. Sophie can really, what's the word? Sophie is a client of mine. We worked together for just 30 days. And in that time, she achieved amazing results because she put the structures in place. So she can attest to everything I am saying here. Leonie Clark joined us. Hello, Leonie. Hi. Maxine. Sharon, it keeps freezing, she said. Hopefully it will be fine on the replay. Linda says, I sure need this. Good. Well, Linda, you were kind enough to share your comments about what you need help with, and I created it for you. So this was for you, and who was the other lady who shared her comments? It was for you, Linda, and Raquel. You two were the ones that shared that you needed help with this, so I've created this specifically for you, but I know this is helpful to everyone. So Linda says, I sure needed this. I've been working too hard for very little return on investment, and my body is protesting. And you know what? This is the other thing. As women, we often get so into the doingness. Sometimes it pays to just give it a rest and have an early night, get fresh and begin again. Sometimes just that banging all the things we have to do is the worst thing we can do. If you're pushing too hard and you're not enjoying it, give yourself a break, have a really great rest, and then come back to it. It's amazing what a good night's sleep and an early night can do for the entrepreneurial woman. It is priceless. Ava Bay says, this is odd. It's saying it's live, but nothing's occurring. I'm not sure why that would be, because it says it's live here and also everyone's commenting. Plus everything the husband comes up with. Tomorrow I have to drive for 4 hours because he forgot some papers. Well, you know, this is about setting very clear boundaries in your business. You know, I'm not here to tell you how to manage your relationship. Boy, I am not a relationship expert. But, you know, when we run our own business, we need to be clear on our energetic boundaries. Because it's our own business doesn't mean that people have carte blanche to just monopolize our time. It is a business that you have to commit to. And yes, you know, I'm a great advocate in designing your business in a way that's flexible, so that you can engineer it around your children and your lifestyle choices and your family's needs. However, you have to stand for what you want. And so personally, for me, I'd be inclined to say, I'm really sorry, I can't do that. I have, you know, it's in the same way that if you had a job, a 9-to-5 job, someone wouldn't expect you to leave your job that day and go run errands for them. But somehow, when we run our own business, people seem to think that's okay. And so as women entrepreneurs, it is our job to say, no, these are my working times. During that time, I am working. It's like I'm at an office or I'm at a job. You know, when I'm here at my desk, I am working, and that's it. You know, obviously, if there's an absolute emergency, then we can go with the flow a bit. But I think women just let other people run roughshod over their working time, and this is why we're always on the back foot. Let's see what else. Ava says it's working now. Hello, Ava. I'm glad you're back in the room. Linda says, I'm building a list of people to outsource stuff to when I'm able to do so. This is great. And, you know, one thing I would say is often we avoid outsourcing because of the money. You know, if you are up to your eyeballs in doing this and the money's not coming in, we can feel very a sense of lack, like I can't possibly pay for someone to help me with this because I'm not generating much money in my business. However, what I want to get across to you is if you've structured your offers correctly, you should be making enough money to be able to pay for some support. Truth is, many women are just totally over delivering and undercharging, and it's keeping women broke, struggling, and burnt out. The way you need to look at this is you need to be charging enough to ensure that you are earning enough to cover your living expenses, to be covering your business expenses, and also have some profit that enables you this breathing space to then say, what can I delegate? Who else can help me with this? And so there are a lot of people out there you can cut a deal with. You know, if you can only afford 15 minutes of time, someone's time to, you know, perhaps you need a virtual assistant, but you haven't got, you know, you're not generating much in your business at this stage. There's a lot of beginning virtual assistants out there who just need to get some testimonials and things. Why not reach out to people and say, look, I'm new in business. I'm desperate to take on some help. Can we, negotiate a deal whereby, you know, I start with 15 minutes once a week. Then the following week, I move it up to half an hour, and we'll just grow from there. That way you're getting some money. I'm freeing up some of my time and space. And, you know, the key though with this is during that time, 15 minutes of time, you know exactly what you're going to work on and you go at it, because the things you can achieve in 15 minutes are off the charts. You could phone somebody and make an offer to them. You know, in 15 minutes, I could probably make 3 phone calls and make an offer, and I could generate £3,000 in that time. It depends on the prices of your offers, of course, but I can guarantee if you use your time, if you have the right pricing structures in place, you have the right offers, you can, you know, all it takes is a phone call or reaching out to someone, and you can make money in that 15 minutes. And that then will, bring you the money to take on more support. So what else do we have got here? I'm building a list of people. Oh, we've read that one. Cut my tasks in half or more at the start of 2016. In fact, I'm going to put my glasses on here, and then I won't be squinting at you all. Doing it again now. Good. Sharon Edmonds joined. Conversation started. 10 comments so far. Catherine Dodd, have to go. We'll watch the replay though. Thanks for your time, VP. You're welcome, Catherine. Lovely to see you. Jenny, how you doing? Jenny is my coffee gal. Jenny, if you ladies are not into acidifying your bodies, Jenny is the girl to speak to. She sells amazing tea and coffee that is full of good stuff and not full of rubbish that's going to damage your body. So go and check Jenny out. Sitwat, hello there. How are you doing? Linda, how do you know the steps? Linda, what was that? The steps to? What are you referring to there? Put that in the comments below and I'll answer your question. Jackie, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Linda says again, I've set aside all of Friday and half of Wednesday for studio time. This is great. You know, we are talking about business activities here, but if there's something else that's a non-negotiable for you. So just as an example, in my own life, I'm 44 years old. Sorry, I've got another update coming up. I'm 44 years old, going on 45 very swiftly. And, you know, I'm feeling it. You know, things are heading south and I'm not having it. I'm not going to relent to saggy bottom syndrome. So for me, a non-negotiable has been working out and exercising. And so I've had to create chunk times in my calendar to say, this is when it happens. It's a non-negotiable, and nothing, you know, make an appointment with my own health and well-being. So that it doesn't slip through my fingers, because it does otherwise. And, you know, we need to be unrelenting with this, because if we are not healthy, whether it's time for meditation, whether it's time for exercise, whether it's just time for sitting down and making, you know, planning a healthy food plan for the week so that you're eating healthily. You know, as women entrepreneurs, these things are important, because if we're not in good health, our business suffers. Everything suffers. We're not great mums. We don't show up as the best person we can be for our clients. You know, it all has an impact. We get sick easily. And, you know, if we're not present in our business, and if you've not got a lot of the automated structures in place, our business just does a nosedive as well. So really great point there, Linda. I have lots of automation, but I'm looking to automate more. Good stuff. You're a girl after my own heart, Linda. Leonie says, would like to know more about automating services, please. Love that. I'm going to take some notes on this afterwards, and perhaps we can do something on that topic next week or in the preceding weeks on different areas of your business that you can automate, because it's more updates coming in. That is a key part of running a successful business, so that we can actually enjoy it, because that's what it should be. Leonie says, yep, that's me. Laugh out loud. Congratulations, this is your most commented live stream video yet. Oh, lovely. Jane, how are you doing, Jane? Calling in from NYC. Yes, focus. Focus is the key. And I know Jane is interested in getting focused on creating one-day intensives and VIP days. I've got something coming up about that very soon, Jane, as you know. So you'll be able to focus on that thing, that revenue stream. She says, hi, beautiful. 1 point at a time. That is right. Leonie says, Linda, no problem. Leonie Clark, off work, sick today, back at work for next Monday. Okay, so you'll be listening into the replays going forward then, Leonie. Delegate says Jane. Sophie, I can if you're. So earlier I said Sophie can be testament to this about the power of creating structure. Sophie has a small daughter who's about 2 or 3 years old, and a newborn almost, and she has put certain structures in place in her business. We worked together for just 30 days and she is now fully booked in her business. I saw her last week at our Inspired to Greatness meetup, and she was saying that she's having to turn business away because she's so fully booked. And it's because she's literally put in, we pared things right down and she focused on the core structures that would actually bring her results, and, got rid of a lot of the others. And now she's fully booked and turning away business, and is actually having to look at creating leveraged programs so that she can serve more people without it taking up her time. So that's a very happy problem to have. And she says here, if you're considering working with VP, don't consider, just do it. I have enough income now that I'm hiring a virtual assistant to do all of the tasks I hate. So this is exactly the point I was making. Perfect. You are a living testament of what I teach, Sophie. So thank you for sharing that. Leonie Clark says, hi, Sophie. Could you hit me up with a good VA, please, or service? I'm still doing the 9 to 5 and wanting to focus more on my business. I tell you what, Leonie, another thing to do is, post something. Ladies, this is something I want to have happen in this group. If you have a resource that you're looking for, there's a lot of experience in this group and a lot of wisdom amongst us. So if there's something you're stuck on, we're in a safe place. This is a private group, and I've done that deliberately so that you can be a bit more vulnerable, and, you don't want all of the world and sundry knowing everything you're doing. So if you have a challenge, or if you do need a resource, just hit us up in this group. There will be somebody here that can help you. So that's why I've created this. Let's make it interactive. This is part of the whole sisterhood piece that I keep banging on about. So great point there. Leonie says, Victoria, I so needed your message today. Well worth being off sick. Good stuff. I'm very happy to hear that. Overdrawn and out of cash, so I hope to bring some money in soon. I doubted my art prices last year and just raised them again. I've gotten some coaching by trading, but no VA yet. I'd love to. Oh, it sort of cuts off there, Linda. It doesn't show any of the longer comments, unfortunately, on my phone. And that is it on the comments for now. So, ladies, as I've said, I'm going to be giving you some tough love here. Do not, whatever you do, she says, pointing her fingers like a pair of guns, do not leave this live stream without doing something, okay? This is my challenge to you. You may not meet my client, but I want to have you get results, okay? And this is about, if you have to, listen to this back, listen back to this, take down notes, and start to implement one thing each day. You can all do that, yes? That's what I challenge you to do. In the comments below, tell me what you're going to commit to doing. What needs to change? Which part of what I've shared with you are you going to implement? And then finally, I'll say it again one last time, share with me what you need help with. What do you want to learn? What's puzzling you? Where are you stuck in your business? How can I help you? You tell me what you want and I'll create it in these live streams. I want to bring as much value as possible to you, but I cannot do it if you don't tell me what you want. All right. So I am listening. It is your turn to tell me what you want. All right. Other than that, I think that brings us to the end of this live. So it went on a lot longer than I'd anticipated, but I'd rather go a bit longer and give you value. So I look forward to seeing you in here throughout the week, but we will do another Inspired to Greatness live next Monday. We'll do it at 1 p.m. again. So post what you want to hear about. Get any questions ready that you may have. If you've got any other questions throughout the week, post them here in the group and I will answer them for you. Other than that, I look forward to seeing some of you live and in person on Wednesday at our Inspired to Greatness meetup here in Brighton. So have a fabulous week, ladies. Stay inspired for action and rock it out. Make it a good one. All right, this is Victoria Player signing out. Bye for now. Take care.